is joining the stream so we can begin. So as usual, Rahim asks, you have a better read of market right now. I'll just let's see what, like, I haven't been focusing on ETH and BTC chart lately. I just open up my random alt chart and see what kind of alts I can find that are not much correlated to what stocks and ETH and BTC are doing. But let's go through the ETH and BTC chart. So, starting with ETH's been pretty interesting past few days. This run we saw ETH to BTC gaining some good strength, then instant 360 reverse on ETH to BTC, and now ETH to BTC looks the most weakest chart on the market, right? So, when we look at the USDT chart, we have this 4 hour range. We can consider 90 to 1670 hour range highs, 1560 being our range lows. So we have seen a deviation once at the range highs. We got the second deviation. We then got the pullback towards the mid range, consolidated for some time. But considering how weak ETH to BTC is, ever since we have lost 1640, I am being really patient on the market, because what I see from the past move is, when we zoom in, we have these equal lows which have yet to be taken out, right? And I have mentioned a lot of times in my corner too, that these are kind of a lows that eventually would want to get taken out at some point in this month, right? So considering we have lost this mid-range level for now, so there are only two possibilities for you to bet anything upside on alts right now. Either this forms some kind of a three drive bottom, right, and we see some reclaim back of the mid range. But even if you are playing this three drive bottom, which does look like a three drive bottom, but when we use RSI, and I only use RSI when I have to play three drive either at bottom or top. This isn't something giving you much of a confluence of a three drive bottom, right? RSI is as weak as ETH to BTC is. So I highly doubt that this bottom out here. But even if it does, much better to wait for this 1640 reclaim. And to be honest, even if we reclaim 1640 without taking out these lows, I would still consider this area from mid range to range highs to be a some place that I still be patient, risk small, play shit coins. Because if we are not taking the liquidity from lower, I would still expect, even if we reclaim 1640, a move down towards range lows at some point. My invalidation and my plan for betting on the upside is, if we never get these lows never get taken out, is not the reclaim of mid range, but instead if we start to flip above this range. Because we have gotten a deviation once, we have gotten a deviation twice. Now it's highly unlikely that you get the same kind of repeating pattern thrice, right? So once we get this third move above the range highs, that wouldn't be for fading, right? Once we get this is when you start scaling into the alts, you start scaling into the long positions. So this is not the area where I would be going heavy on the market, unless we take out some lows. So on the other side, what I am betting right now is, considering how weak ETH looks, and even BTC, that we eventually see a move towards here. And the triggers I would be looking for is that we have these equal lows below range lows, so we see a spike to take out these equal lows. We also, when we look at the left, we have this hourly demand over here. So take out these equal lows, right into the spike into the demand. And once we have done that, as soon as you see something like this, a spike into the sweep, reclaim back the range lows, give you a lower time frame break of structure, that is something, that you would like to bid. So that would be my high conviction play, and that is where, after a long time, I would actually start to look for exposures on some high caps and things that, move along with ETH and BTC. Also, when I look at ETH, considering how oversold this chart looks, I know oversold chart is a bit, something that people don't like to say in this market. Things can be oversold for a very long time, but consider still, I think how low ETH to BTC has gone, in my opinion, it would be reversing sooner or later, right? Like, this has been a bloodbath for ETH when we look at the ETH to BTC chart. So what I am expecting is once we get this on ETH, you know, we could see some decent relief on ETH and on alts. Also, when we look at BTC, we can see, you know, we discussed how important it is for BTC to reclaim this mid-range area, right? So we kind of just did a bearish retest and we are now back down. So my plan is that would, go in line with our ETH plan, that what we are expecting on ETH is like kind of a 3 to 2%, 3.5% move down. Similarly, what I am expecting on BTC is we have a daily demand right around 26.8 till 27. We also have a daily macro SR around 27. So, somewhat of a move down to, fill in this demand, maybe even take out these lower time frame lows, and, a kind of a deviation below, acceptance back up. This is your long trigger, and when you keep in aligned with your ETH plan, right? ETH taking out your equal lows and reclaiming back 1570 level, and you seeing a push down on BTC and reclaiming back 27k. That is a big long trigger for me on the market, right? So I'll still patiently wait for these of the two scenarios on both on BTC and ETH to play out, and let's see what we get. But considering how, I'm more focused on how ETH looks, to be honest, because you can't expect ETH to keep selling down. And like, I know dominance has been really bullish, ETH to BTC has been really weak, but still, something that has such, dominance in the market, ETH still has like 20% market dominance, right? So something that is such a, big player in the market, if ETH keeps selling down, you can't be bullish on the market, right? Yes, push up led by dominance is bullish, but not something that, you know does like something like this on ETH, right? This is not bullish. No matter, even if you want some ETH exposure and you want to be bullish on ETH, you want to be bullish on BTC, you still want ETH to look a little better than it is right now, right? The only thing this chart tells me is that this market might be due for some, decent flush and give us this move down towards 1550, 1560, right? So that's what we get. Sorry, but screen is not showing up. Is it normal? I guess it might be some issue from your end. Okay, I'll take like a 10 seconds break to have my coffee. Till then, feel free to ask about whatever we talked about. What makes you say all of this? What? Like, I don't get the question. Like, what makes me say what? That ETH will move down. So what makes me say that ETH will move down? So, first of all, you need to focus on my words, right? I'm not saying ETH has to move down, or ETH is moving down. I'm just giving you possibilities. As a trader, you should be focused on what if that happens, right? You are not here to say something for sure. I'm not saying that if I was so sure on a ETH move down over here, I would be like in a 100x short right now, right? I would be shorting with all the money I have if I was so sure, right? So trading isn't about being sure. It's about how you react to what market gives you, right? So the only thing I am saying you is, unless ETH gives you a reclaim of this, wait for either a reclaim of this or wait for a move down towards the lows, right? You don't have any triggers trading right in between the mid range and range lows, especially when these kind of lows are left behind, right? I'm not saying it has to be taken out, but the thing I'm saying is, if it gets taken out, you wait for this reclaim trigger and then go long. If it doesn't, then you have your other triggers in place. You wait for either of the two possibilities to take your trade, right? I'm not saying it has to do that. Why is so important about 0.055 ETH to BTC? Where is 0.055? So yeah, it's somewhere around here. So what I see at around those levels is, you know, we can have a cleaner ETH to BTC chart. I didn't know. Let me see if I can. Okay, let's delete this. I can get it back. So, this is kind of a range you had on ETH to BTC, right? So the reason people are a majority of people are expecting a move down to these areas because these were your past range lows, right? This is your macro range we have been in since May 2021, right? So once we have seen a deviation at range highs twice, we have seen a deviation below range lows once. So what people are expecting is a simple range play, right? It's nothing, of a rocket science. It's just people expecting a push to range lows and then some relief on ETH. That's a simple macro range play. Can you give access to mic? I will. Your rhyme. So whatever you have to say, it's better. Let's go over this stream, and towards the end, you can maybe hop on the stream and say whatever you want to say, right? So okay, so moving back to the charts. So that's pretty much someone said about the Joey play we are in. We can go over the alts and everything else once we are done with ETH, BTC, stocks, DXY, all the stuff, right? So a little bit of patience. Let me clean my charts a bit. Okay, now when I look at my ES chart, we we have the last time I remember, when we were on a stream, we were around somewhere here. We bare retested the 4 hour resistance. We saw a move down, and we discussed how important it is for ES to hold above this red daily SR, right? So let me see if I can zoom in a bit. So, we can see we have a daily demand block around this area, right? We can see how the market has been, capped by this daily res since April 2022, held this as support over here, been capped by this same area over here. So, as long as ESS, fails to reclaim back this level, it does seem bearish short term. So, what I'm expecting is, we also, in this last move down on ES, we formed this daily supply block right over here, right? So we kind of right now retesting this supply. So what I am expecting is, maybe even a higher fill towards the supply equilibrium and then a move down. But overall, what I am expecting on ES is, in coming time, a retest of 1450, 1460. This could be a big level for ES to hold, because anything below this could be really bad short term, but I highly doubt, you know, that we keep going that low. But we'll see. But what I am expecting is, as long as we are below this red daily SR, as long as we are below this recent daily supply, I am expecting a move till 1450, 1460. and that is where you can expect ES to show some good reversals. Overall, talking about the correlation of stocks with BTC, not seeing a lot of that correlation lately, but we can have some kind of a delayed reaction on crypto as well. But overall, lately we are seeing a little correlation. A better correlation with the crypto could be with the DXY chart. I would say ever since we broke out of this range, we are still in a strong uptrend. We talked about when DXY was here, any retest around the range highs or this demand block down would be for reversal back up. And similarly, what happened still looks bullish. Even though we have taken out these highs over here, after some kind of like ever since it bottomed out at $100, we haven't seen some kind of relief down on DXY. It has been in a strong up only mode, right? So I wouldn't mind some kind of a small pullback right back to within the range, and make people bearish on dollar, make people bullish on markets right over here, saying that we are back into the range and dollar is most likely to go back down. Instead, what you could expect is we have this daily demand right below the range highs, right? So what you could expect is we retest this daily demand right below the range highs and end up trending back up. And because we have yet to see this daily imbalance fill, right? So this could be a good place where we might expect dollar to form some local top. We have discussed this area a lot of times ever since we were over here, right? Ever since we flipped yearly open and this mid range on dollar. So this is place where you could expect, after filling this daily imbalance and this daily SR, this is where you could expect the dollar to eventually top out. But for now, I think if DXY gives you a decent pullback, you shouldn't be calling out any tops on it, because considering the kind of up only move it has been in, it deserves a pullback, right? So even if it gets a pullback and it retests this demand, it should be trending back up, in my opinion. So that was pretty much it. Stocks been pretty boring lately, same as DXY. BTC, we finally get the only thing I'm excited about recently is that finally we are getting some kind of volatility, right? No longer we are just stuck within few $100 range. At least we are getting some, four, five, 600 intraday moves. That's good, really good in coming days if market keeps on giving us this. So yeah, overall, I do think you know the worst case scenario for us could be that we have discussed the possibility where ETH gives us a move down towards these equal lows, reclaim back the range lows, and this is your long trigger, right? Same goes for BTC, a push down towards 27k reclaim, and that's your long trigger. But we haven't discussed the worst case scenario, which would be that ETH begins to lose below 1570, 1560, right? So what if after, even after the sweep, right? So let me clear this up. Like, you need to be open to all possibilities, right? So what happens if we see a strong push down, take out these lows, but instead of getting a decent reclaim back up, we get something like this, right? This would be your trigger to cut your any exposure which you try to get at this sweep and reclaim back, right? If it sweeps, you see a strong SFP reclaims back, but if it ends up rolling back down, this is where you exit the market. Because in my opinion, if we are unable to hold these levels on ETH and we are unable to hold 27k level on BTC, right? 20, if we are unable to hold this daily demand, we are unable to hold 27k on BTC, unable to hold the range lows on ETH, then we pretty much going down much lower, which would be we eventually fill out this initial flash dump wick, which would be around like 1450 ETH, and maybe like 24 25k on BTC. So this would be for me like you call it a line in the sand. This is the level where you would want to be the last time bullish, right? So anything below that, anything losing 27k and losing 1570 on ETH is really bearish midterm for the market. So let's see what we get in coming time. So what else do we have? We still in Dodo play. It's a good looking, you know, shitcoin chart in my opinion. The 3-day chart looks really good ever since we closed this 3-day above. Also, please do be patient on these plays. Like ever since morning, I have been seeing people asking that UHBJ, if you are bearish on ETH, if you expect us to be patient, why are you taking these plays, right? So these shitcoins don't, to be honest, really like, if we look at ARK, right, it has been doing this since yesterday while ETH has been selling off, right? So did ARK really care about my bearishness on ETH? No, it didn't. So, just let me play my shitcoins chart in peace. So overall, I did get my fills for lower. I have an average entry around 1052 and looks good as long as we keep getting higher time frame acceptance above this green box. We are good to go. My invalidation is if we begin to lose this 4-hour SR and 3-day SR on 4-hour time frame, I would simply cut it out. Or else, this is kind of like a midterm play, so a 5 to 10% move to either side I really don't care about. Like my first TP area would at least be at a 20 to 25% move. Somewhere around over here would be my first target area. So and rest would be higher. So this is kind of a midterm shitcoin play for me that I'm going to let run for some time. Also, when I look at this chart, it also got recently, and by recent I mean like few months ago, on got listed again, because I remember Dodo used to be on futures few years back, but it got delisted. Now it got listed back again as Dodo X. So I don't know why they did that, but whatever it is, we are seeing some decent volume kicking in past few days. To be honest, for me, it looks pretty similar to the bake bottom we had. And if you remember, we have gotten pretty good trade on bake, right? So when I look at the kind of a bottom we had on Bake, right? We have got pretty good moves on Bake. I remember we got like a 5% move over here. We also got like a 10% move at this push up, and few days ago we got a 30% push over here, right? So this kind of accumulation on 3 day chart, and when you look at the volume, you can see the how the volume started getting back into this coin at this later phase of consolidation, right? So similar what we are seeing on Dodo. So we are seeing this volume getting kicked in at this later part of this accumulation. So you can expect this chart to perform well in coming time. If not, it's like a 10-15% invalidation. Happy to take that. Now let's come back to Joey. It was doing some weird PA since warning, but got bought back up decent, like 2.5% up since today's low. Have an entry around 2.45, 2.47. So again, similar to the bake dodo chart we discussed, to me on daily it looks kind of somewhat bottomed. Kind of looks to me like a chart that would eventually fill in these highs in coming time. If not, we'll see. Someone asked about, yeah, they asked about storage. We can have a look at storage. STMX, I don't know, I still have a feeling that this chart could run good in coming time. I don't know, it's just a weird looking chart, to be honest, because when I look at the daily structure on it, I haven't seen this kind of a structure on any alt that I remember. I don't know, like, what is this? Like, no idea what the structure is. But overall, when I zoom out, you know, kind of a good consolidation range, whatever you call that. So my main focus would still be in coming days is playing these random shit coins, because they are the ones that have been sold pretty hard in this entire bear market, right? And these are the coins, like, when you look at this STMX chart, you can see this huge cycle bottom, right? This, like, almost being 90% down since the highs, and then going into, like, even what, when the this range, like, since May 2022, so that makes even more than a year long range. So these are the charts which I'm really interested in coming days, right? These kind of a charts that have been in down only mode ever since the bear market start, and now finally been in a, like, 6 months, 7 months, a year long range. So expecting these charts to outperform in coming time. So STMX looks good for that. Todo I am in, Joey maybe. There are a lot of charts, like, even when I look at LQTY, it has this coin has been one of the strongest shit coins in past few days. You can see, despite the sell down on ETH, despite alts just literally dying, this chart has been showing some good strength. So, what I am waiting on LQTY is either we get that sell down on ETH, and w- if we get that on ETH, this daily demand block which we left yesterday would be a good level to bid. If not, then we can see this is our daily SR level, right? So if we flip above, and any retest of this would be for buy. So any of these two possibilities, and I would look for some LQ to EVA exposure, because it's been pretty strong past few days. And when I see the overall chart, also, like I mentioned few days back in my corner, is my main gameplay in coming days is to play coins that have been listed on perps recently. Not, and by recently I mean, like, month ago, few months ago, right? So, like, these kind of charts that got listed few months back, you can see a lot of them similar to this been running pretty strong. So this is one on my list. XVS is on my list. What other coins we have? Combo, there is a coin combo that got listed few months ago. So I have all these charts that got listed few months ago, have been showing some good strength lately, and these are coins that could give you some decent scam run in coming time. So yeah. Bro, are you playing full setup for Joey? Yeah, I am. Liver good for a long here. Bit of relief and higher time frame. Let me see what's happening with liver. This chart looks interesting. VRA. Saw some Twitter hype on this coin. Maybe a retest around this would be a good area to look for some play. Okay, someone said liver. Yo, what happened to this coin? Okay, so to be honest, I don't even have to look at the past PA. I have no interest in playing a coin that sold off something like this, right? So coins that give you such reversal, like the slow staircase grind up and then instant sell off. These are the charts that could keep grinding down or keep ranging. So you can't expect this chart to, let me clean this up. So you can't expect this chart after this kind of sell off to just go back up, right? It's I highly doubt it does something like this. So for me, if something shows such strong sell off and retraces the entire move down, I'll just not play that for coming like few days maybe. Even if there is something interesting on this coin, yeah, do I do agree that this is a good lever for lever to hold. But even if it is bullish, after such sell off, wait for price to maybe consolidate for some time, show of attempt to break down, then got gets bought back up. That is kind of a trigger you wait for and then look for long, right? So just entering right here, I don't feel good playing such sell-offs. So, not something that I would be looking to play in coming time. But yeah, if we do get something like this, which I have mentioned, some kind of a consolidation, attempt to break down, get spot back up, then you look for some long plays, right? Right now, it's just knife catching something that's been sell down so hard. Can you check link? Yeah, sure, we can have a look on link. No, this is not my link chart. Okay, I'm on the other side. To be honest, if it wasn't for how bad not BTC, but if it wasn't for how bad ETH looks right now, I would definitely, consider having some position on Link because, let me just clean my charts a bit. Because even though I hate this coin, like I can say with guarantee, and even people can vouch for that. Like for past 1 or 2 years, I haven't entered a single link long, right? I have never entered a link long ever since this curse started doing this, right? I haven't traded this for a very long time, and by traded mean longing this. Yes, I have shorted this a lot of time with pretty good accuracy because all it does is eventually just dies down after every single push up. So it's a good thing to short, but for longs, this is like once, like when we were here, right over here, right, I was expecting linked to, I'll be honest, a lot of people come later and say in hindsight, like, this was a good place to buy and, we were at range lows. This was a good buy area. I, in fact, was bearish when link was right here, right? And the reason I was bearish over here was that what I was seeing is that, yes, we were at range lows, and range lows isn't a place where where you should be bearish at. But I was seeing this kind of a price action that every single push up from the range lows was weaker than before, right? We were getting constant higher lows, and once we were here, I expected this range to eventually break down, right? Because when you see something like this, a price gives you a strong sell off down, then range, but within the range, you are seeing something like this, right? Constant lower highs. I expect this chart to give continuation back down, right? So coming back to where we are, but so considering Link didn't do that, instead we are pretty much back towards the past highs, pre-breakdown level from the mid range. And not only are we holding above the mid range, we got this decent buyback on daily right below the mid range. We held this daily demand, we are holding this daily breaker right below the mid range. So overall, the link chart does look really good. But as I said, before discussing link, is that I would still like to be patient on ETH because link is a high cap, and for sure, if ETH gives you a strong flush down towards these lows, link is going to follow, right? Link is not that kind of a shitcoin that keeps being uncorrelated to what ETH does. It is going to follow ETH. So, I'm being patient overall, but yes, it does look bullish. So, what you could wait for is that ETH gives you that flush down, you get another, you know, sell down on link, but I would not enter over here. I would wait for it to reclaim back this mid range. And if you see another push down on mid range and you see another buyback right above and reclaims back the mid range, this is a bullish trigger for you to get some decent link exposure, because then you could target all the untaken highs we have marked behind, right? So please see Storage lower time frame. Someone is T-wapping hard. Okay, we can have a look on Storage. Hey, give me a 10-second break. You having Coke Zero now? It's just black coffee. So okay. Someone said to have a look on Storage. We can have a look on Storage. Comp, I might, give out a limit for this coin, because DeFi's have been showing some kind of bids on the market. And, if DeFi is run, I expect comp to perform well as well. So I want some comp exposure in next pullback. And what I am looking for is, when we zoom in, we have this flat candle out of this demand on storage, right? Flat 4-hour candle break from demand. So I am looking to place my bets right around here. So, I might call out a limit long for comp, sweep this flat 4-hour demand, and this is where we bid comp for a move towards. It would be kind of a play that I would hold for some time, maybe these highs and range highs eventually, but we'll see. But I might give out some comp bid soon. BLZ pretty much topped out for now. I was expecting BLZ to, give some reaction out of this 3-day demand, but overall, nothing so far. Someone said storage. I don't know. I don't see anything interesting. We can have a look on Coinalyze as well, see how the CVDs and OI look overall. But still, for me, a shitcoin gets interesting when it gives you some impulsive move up and starts trending. Like for now, it could just be a slow grind up and sells back down. But we'll soon shift to Coinalyze and see. Like, let me check right now if there is something interesting on Storage. Yes, seeing some decent spots, bids, and open and on, but still, for me, a shitcoin gets interesting where I like to at least see some impulsive candles, right? Not just a small, slow grind up. So if we see something like that on Storage, then yeah, we can try some momentum play. But for now, I'll just watch it closely. But yeah, a good mention. It could run over time. So you probably answered already, but what happened with Joey? Nothing happened with Joey. We are still in Joey, so yeah. Someone asked for AMB. We got a pretty decent play on AMB a few days back, right? I remember we got like a 17-20% move. Yeah, this was the play, right? We got almost no. Where did we get the AMB play? Yeah, it was here, right? We got this move. Like, where did we get the? No, no. Yeah, I remember. This was the old AMB play we took, which we TP'd over here. Then we got a re-entry right around here, right? And we got like a 17-20% move out of it. Yeah, I'm right. So, okay, let's delete our past plays. Overall, to be honest, like similar to what I said on liver, a coin that gives you, a slow grind down and then immediate sell back down. I would wait that coin to give me some kind of more consolidation for me to, bid it again. I don't like such hard sell offs on alts, right? So nothing interesting for me on this coin for now. HBJ, how would you advise to improve our technical analysis skills? Any suggestion, guidance will be appreciated. Only one thing that I suggest to people is start spending time on the charts, because I say this every time someone asks me. I can make anyone learn what I know, all the TA knowledge I have within few hours, right? So like I can teach anyone how to draw out ranges, I can teach anyone how to play supply demand, how to look at market structures, how to play liquidity, how to look at open interest CVDs to use as confluence. Those are like things that you could learn within few hours, right? But the thing that makes you good at day trading, that makes you good at analyzing the PA, is the amount of time you have spent on the chart and the amount of things you have journaled, right? Every play I take, I post the screenshot of that play in my journal, right? So whenever it repeats the next time, if I have done something wrong previous time, I know what not to do the next time, right? So gaining that experience, spending time, even staring at blank charts every day could make you learn a lot more than reading books or watching some courses or some tutorials. Instead, just watch blank charts and just keep staring at the price action every day for like 5-6 hours, and you learn a lot, right? Because things tend to keep on repeating in the market, right? So even if you are not doing well, even if you think your ts sucks, but you are saying your TS sucks because you lost, right? You didn't make money, you are not making money. But the next time when that scenario repeats itself, because it would, right? Things keep on repeating, structures keep on repeating. So the next time it repeats, the only thing you have to do is just do opposite of what you did before, right? So a lot of successful setups and structures I trade right now are the ones that I took losses in the past, right? So like some of my really profitable short setups are the one that I ended up taking loss in past by longing them, right? So like this is how, in my opinion, you learn the most, by just spending time as much as you can on charts. But yeah, just for beginners, try something with as simple as daily support resistance. Range plays are pretty useful. Just learn how to mark your range, how to play deviations, liquidity grabs around the range highs, range lows. Start with daily levels, daily ranges, start to learn basic concepts such as, structure break, something as, what's the demand, what's the supplies block, what's the order block, those basic things could help you a lot in TA, right? If you're a beginner. What else do you people have? Dodo gets back above this level and looks pretty good. You missed my Sol question. Can you tag me in that question again? Yeah, I missed that. Pico. What's Pico? We can have a look on it. Sol looks like a potential short. So you want to short something here? Let's see. I haven't looked at the Sol chart ever since it gave me a big fat L on the short I was on Sol. So, if you wanted to take a shot on Sol, it was a good shot right at the range highs, right? So, when we zoom out, we have talked about this range on Sol, and it's been a clean range for Sol to play, like 25 till 25.78 being your range highs, 20 to 19 being your range lows. So, when you zoom in, this could have been a good short trigger, but like I wouldn't have shorted Sol over here because I don't like to short something just because it's at high time frame range high, or a high time frame supply. I personally want to see some, a reason for the price to move down from that level, right? So for me, if it had taken out these highs and then deviated back below, this could have been my short trigger. But for now, if you are asking me whether Sol is a good shot right now, I doubt a bit because it's been holding above the mid-range level, right? So, you know, it's holding above this mid-range. The only place you can have two possibilities, right? So either we begin to lose the range lows and you can short at this bearish retest, right? You would also then, once we lose this mid range, you would have a good decent supply block formed right above the mid range, right? So that could be a decent area to have to take a continuation short on Sol towards this 4-hour demand and maybe range lows, right? So it could be an easy 2-3 hour setup, right? So if it doesn't give you that, on the other hand, if Sol holds this mid range and we see a push up, we take out these equal highs left on Sol. So one good short setup could be that we get this spike above range highs, we take out these highs, we also have somewhat equal highs right over here, we also have pair of equal highs right over here. So push up, spike up towards range highs, deviation back below, and this is where you enter a short and then target mid range and the demand lower and range lows, right? That's what a breakdown below 22.75. What's that? Yeah, pretty much the same level. So, yeah, if we lose this mid range level, that could be a good shot. But like I have mentioned a lot of times, just a close below doesn't mean it has lost that level, right? So a lot of people say that since price is now below 22.75, it's below the mid range, now let's start shorting. No, because you want the price to first accept below, second to trend below, right? So for those two conditions to meet, you want the price to, make lower lows below range, mid range. So that would fulfill your condition of first acceptance below, second of, the price trending below as well, right? So once you get these two conditions, then you look for some, a small pullback, re-enter at the bearish retest, and then short, right? Don't short just because it's trading below 22.75, right? The move down could very well just be a liquidity grab of all those lows and then just end up trading back above, right? Yo, Rahim, good night. Thanks for joining. So, what other things we have? TNX? What's that coin? Okay, I only said good night to Rahim. I see a lot of other people start to leave as well. But yeah, you are free to leave. Okay, someone said DNX. Where I can't even find this coin. Is it this one? The one on Mix? Why would you ever want to trade something that's only available on Mix? Like, why? Okay, so overall, from my daily levels, I have these two areas, these two point of interest. Now, would I want to try something over here? When I look at the daily chart, I might, but when I look at this 4 hour structure, this 4 hour weird kind of a top, which we got right around the previous highs, nah, I'll just, even if you want something to play on this coin, wait for this area, right? Previous highs, high time frame demand. So any push down, this could be a good level to try something, right? Right now, this sell off doesn't look good to enter right away. Okay, so the one thing that I really like about this new stream interface is now you don't get to hear those, you know, ping pong sounds when people are joining or leaving the stream. So it's pretty peaceful right now. You pouring milk? No, I'm just pouring water. Would you appreciate would appreciate your thoughts on Sui? Yeah, we can have a look at that chart. This coin looks so dead. To be honest, you should just pray that it holds this. Like anything, if it begins to lose this, you would see a similar kind of a sell off we got once it lost these lows, right? So, you know, also, even though it's like at a big daily last level, you would want it to hold, but the kind of, weak price action you are seeing above here, I wouldn't be surprised that, even if ETH gives like a 50-60 move dollar flush down, Sui could just sell down pretty hard, right? So I'll just either try to find some trigger for shorts, or I'll just simply stay away from this chart now, to be honest. In a strong downtrend, no strong from this, you know, level whatsoever. There is nothing interesting to try some long exposure. The only way I could be bullish on this coin is once we take out these weird lows, right? A push down, attempt to break down, reclaims back. This is your long trigger, not here. Let's look at what the low time frame price on ETH looks. Yeah, it still looks shit. Just be patient, to be honest. Haven't seen such weakness on ETH for a very long time, to be honest. So, when you look at ETH to BTC, I guess we haven't been in at these levels since what? We haven't been this low on ETH to BTC since July of last year, right? So, let's see. But in midterm, it could be bullish, but still, you don't want ETH to look like this to be bullish on the market, right? So, I what you would should be praying right now is that once you get this move down on ETH and we get this liquidity grab below, the move could be the next move up on BTC could be led by dominance, but you should still expect ETH to BTC to at least range and consolidate while BTC keeps on trending up, right? So like even though ETH led move is not healthy for an uptrend either, but still you don't want to see such bad weakness on ETH to be bullish on the market, right? So what I would really want to see is once we take out these lows, you see some kind of a consolidation range on ETH to BTC, not like this strong sell off, a bit of a consolidation, a bit of range while BTC begins to trend up. So that could be really bullish short term, mid term for the markets. Overall, BTC is a much better looking chart on higher time frame. Like ETH is already approaching range lows, while BTC is something that looks on a good uptrend, right? So let me clean my chart a bit. So, the range we drew on ETH, it is pretty much this range we had on BTC, right? So, what we are seeing on BTC is broke out of the range, retested around the range highs, and we are pretty much in a strong uptrend, right? Even if we retest 27k even a little below and then trend back up, we are in a good uptrend on BTC. So BTC when compared to ETH looks like 10 times much better. So yeah, let's see. Coming days would be really interesting, to be honest. Like even though I have a little read on market right now, I'm just keeping things slow. But just seeing this kind of volatility after a long time, I'm just happy to see that, right? So even if you are not able to catch moves, it still feels good that at least market is moving. even if you are making money or not, at least we are not just dead range in a market. We are still getting some move. This would be a good long trigger. Last time I'll ask, yeah, I missed that again. So sorry, sir. I look at Biko again. Any TP limits on Joey? Where did my Joey chart go? So depends where your entry is, but considering if it would be somewhere around here, a good TP area would be around this last highs we had. So anything around, 2655 to 66, giving a 4-5% move up would be a good TP area, right? Like take out 30-40% there and just then let rest ride risk free. Biko, we can have a look. Okay, so the overall high time frame chart looks interesting, but when I look at the daily chart, what I see is just a single candle push up that's getting you know retraced back down. So if I wanted to try some play on this coin, the only two possible areas I would have is either we reclaim back this big macro level, right? You can see how well this area has been respected in past. So no point in entering in the middle of these two levels, right? Either a reclaim of this trend, right? We also have this macro trend coming down. So if you see something like this is a big buy. Or on the other hand, if you get retest of this daily SR, this is a good buy level, right? So either of these two scenarios, one is this, second is this. Just don't mind my handwriting, but other than that, these are the two possibilities. I really do hope that ETH gives us this before forming out the bottom, because I remember, like if you guys remember, while we were, somewhere around here, and I mentioned that once we take out these equal lows on ETH and BTC, I would be flipping bullish and, deleting all my bearish, card collections I have. But unfortunately, market never gave this, sweep of lows, and then just ended up pushing and going into a strong run up. Don't want that to happen again, that I keep on waiting for these low sweeps and we've again form a bottom without that happening. So hopefully that happens. Night brother. HFT, we can have a look on HFT. Again, a dead chart, but a good level to hold. I don't know what to say about this chart, to be honest. The only thing I could say is, like, you know, if I wanted a position on this coin, I would wait for this daily close today and switch to lower time frame, knowing this is a big daily level for it to hold. And if on lower time frame, once we have closed daily, I start to see some kind of a good, lower time frame price action happening, we start, trending higher, breaking structure on lower time frame, I might, try some spot position with invalidation of it losing this yellow area on daily, right? So this is the only valid trade I couldn't look at, right? Entering right now doesn't make much sense considering how weak this daily close looks right now. Like, even though we are at this big daily SR, but the way this daily close looks, I'll still be patient. So have this level marked, switch to lower time frame, and if you start to see some good, you know, lower time frame price action going on, then you can enter for some scam move on this coin. Can you have a look at IMX? To be honest, if someone is willing to, you know, code something for me, an indicator or something that just, just by a click cleans up your entire chart, I'm willing to pay, to be honest, because, and by cleaning up, I means that, that something that lets you keep your levels, let you, keep everything, but the things that you draw with your marker just, gets cleaned up because it takes a lot of time to clean them up. Okay, so something said about IMX. I remember IMX had some bullish news, out of which it gave like a 30-40 push percent move up. But ever since, something that pushes like this on a news and then just keeps on grinding back down, you should be pretty patient on having any exposure on it, right? So the only thing you can wait for is for it to consolidate for some time, attempt to break down, reclaim spark. That could be a trigger to enter and forms some kind of a double bottom over here, right? So this could be a good trigger to have. Until then, something that pushes up 40% of a new on a news and then retraces back isn't something you should be looking forward to enter a play. You can use object tree and group. What's that? It's in trading view bottom right. What's a trading view bottom right? Object tree. I can't find anything named as object tree. Is it this? Oh, what's this? Brush, brush. What does this do? So now what? Why are there so many brushes? Oh, okay, so I get it. So I can just remove this. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, that's good. So let's say I want to clean my eighth chart over here. So I just go to this and I remove all the brushes. Man, that's like so brilliant. You saved a lot. Oh no, my chart got deleted. Okay, so I don't have to delete the fib, but I delete all the brushes. Okay, that's good. Okay, not the rectangle. Okay, that's good. Bro, you are smart. Like, I never, like, despite being using this interface for like 3 years now, I haven't explored all the options on it so far. Okay, so what else do you people want to ask? Anything apart from just charts request? Still, just be patient on ETH because even like when we talk about three drive bottoms, one thing is like we have talked about, you want to see some kind of a confluence with your three drive bottom, right? You want maybe RSI giving you some confluence. When I look at RSI, all I see is just something which is showing zero bids right now, right? So no RSI confluence. Plus, when you want to, play this three drive bottom, you also have to look at the trajectory it's being sold down, right? So if something is forming bottom on with a three drive pattern, I want it to have some kind of a shallow trajectory, right? Something like this, a three drive that impulses back up, not something that is doing like this and you draw a line and say, well, this is a three drive, right? So steeper it is, less probability of it being bottomed out. I also have limit long on ETH placed. To be honest, I'm not personally a fan of placing limit orders. That's why you'll majority of the time not see me calling out. But I do believe this demand right below these equal lows would give you a decent reaction, to be honest. So, these equal low sweep, we tap this demand, reclaim back. This could be some good fills. So I have laid down my bid starting from 1560 down towards 1535, 38. So this is where I bid ETH. And once I get my fills, what I would see is that if we get a SFP and wick out of this demand, and I will just observe 1 minute, 3 minute chart, and if we go over here and it fails to reclaim and just rolls back down, I would just cut my position out at break even or slight loss, right? What is a SFP? Swing failure pattern. So SFP explained in simple terms is some you have your past highs over here. So a price trend a high. This is your high, right? So if you if there are people short on a chart looking like this, most probably they have the stops above the highs, right? So you call this area as a liquidity area or a liquidity pool where the market next time could go up, take out those stops, grab liquidity, and then reverse back, right? So the next time price trends higher, right, take out these highs, and by taking out, we mean that the price, feel the urge to be in the position all the times. When I am not, when I have very little conviction on the market, I don't know what's going around. Like, past few days, I really don't have much hold on the current price action. So I just fulfill my addiction, just playing out shitcoins, taking small positions, right? So if you can't do that, what I would advise is just find some other hobbies, just spend time somewhere else, or even if you want to keep, stay engaged with the market, that is something I want to do, right? Even if I am not feeling good with the price action, I still want to observe it because, just observing price action every day, this is my personal opinion, just like, could be different for other people. Like some people say, if you are not, getting some hold of market, you are not trading well, just take a break, right? For me, even if I am on a break, I just still want to be engaged with the market because once, like, even though I am not closely observing this price action past few days, I am not actively trading ETH and BTC or any high caps majors, but I am still engaged with the market because once, the PA starts to resolve, this just past trading at this price action for me would give me better mindset to trade the coming price action, right? So it's a bit subjective approach, but you can still remain, engaged with the market. Just keep on watching the price action, maybe take like a $1 trade to either side and see how it plays out. You can try different things out. Yo, good night, Omara. Okay, so I guess that's all I had to say. It was a good stream. I guess it's like been an hour we have been on the stream. Hope you people had a good time. And to be honest, the reason I haven't been doing regular streams like we were doing past few weeks is like, don't have a clear read on the price action, right? Like, I don't want to come on the stream every day and just tell you people that, like, thanks for making out time for my stream, but I have nothing to tell you, right? I don't want to like keep saying this on the stream throughout. So once we get decent hold of the market, once, I start being confident back on the price action, we'll, resume back the daily streams. So yeah. So I had a good time. Take care. Allah Hafiz. See you soon.